go ahead and check real quick, just make sure this is working right. Need to just pull up my other screen here real quick. But yeah, it's been a minute since we covered this one. This is actually not even... Actually, no, wait, this is technically the same save file, I believe, from the last time. But I'm in a little bit of a different spot. So, for those that maybe don't remember this one or haven't been following it, Himeko Sutori is basically a very, like, ogre battle / tactics ogre combined, inspired kind of game. Really interesting setup for it. Basically, the idea is you have your... or rather, the way it works, you have your whole big squad here, you use your whole army at once in most cases, and you just kind of make them into these little squads here. And so, instead of going around capturing cities, you basically have smaller maps with larger amounts of units on there, and then all these squads kind of function as one unit. And yeah, once we get into the fights, you'll see more of what I'm talking about there. But like, say for example, these guys got into a fight. So these particular ones are basically people that shoot lasers out of their swords and then a wall of zombies, which I'm actually not sure why I have this one up here in the front line. She should be swapping out with this one. Let's go pop him out for a second. Let's put her over here. Actually, that might be one thing that would be cool to see. Can I not move her there? There we go. I'm just forgetting the controls. I'm sorry. Actually, you probably could have swapped them by just selecting one and then the other. Let's test that. Can you? Okay, no. Yeah, possibly a recommended feature right there, if you can just select one and then swap it with somebody else. But oh well. This is still in development, just so everyone knows. It's in early access right now. But yeah, really interesting game. But yeah, the idea is, like, if those guys got into a fight, like, say you told them to attack from far away, all the ranged ones would go fire off whatever they've got. Meanwhile, the melee guys would only go and take their turn as soon as their team's actually attacked. Basically, everyone's got piles of perks and stuff going on that will trigger under certain circumstances. Like, my personal favorite example on it is one where one of your range classes, I believe it's the hunter, that you can basically tell them, okay, if anybody tries to heal on the opposite team, they just automatically get a snapshot on them. It's cool, you know. It's a cool system. It's fun to play around with. All right, we're gonna leave these ones back here because realistically they're not gonna be doing very much. Each of these squads, their size is determined by the leadership capacity of their respective leader. So these guys are still training up. Alright, so we're just going to go for ranged against these guys. They're getting a flank on them, or they should get a flank on them. So this should be pretty solid. And once I remember the controls, we'll do a little bit better. Come to think of it, this actually works with controller. I should probably give that a shot. Finally got the controller working yesterday. Turns out I was overthinking it severely. All I had to do was just plug the dang thing in and leave everything as it was, instead of putzing around and breaking it in the process. So yeah, good job, genius, on that. But yeah. Alright. Doggo Force is one of my main teams here. See, yeah, their movement and everything else is, as per usual, decided by other stats. What's going on in this map? Alright, doesn't look like anything we shouldn't be able to handle. Might be wondering why I'm being kind of cautious about this. There's a very decent chance those boars are going to completely run somebody over here. To give you an idea of what's going on here, I have an illusionist on one of these teams here. I think it was this one, because I've got a bunch of archers and illusionists on one of the teams here, as well as a healer. It's just cool to mess around with the different team comps here. Also, really, we're starting off with one of those. Oh, god dang it! Hang on. How do we get rid of you? Let's see, we click on you, and banned. There we go. Don't have to worry about that guy anymore. How do I maybe get rid of this, though? I don't know if that'll get rid of his message or not. Yeah, there we go. It should get rid of his message. It might still show up in the chat log for this particular software. We'll see. It's annoying. I don't know why those keep coming up. Alright. So unfortunately, this team does not have any ranged attacks by the look of it. Oh wait, yeah they do. Yeah they do. They've got the laser swords. What am I talking about? So yeah, So there's interesting little synergies between the different teams, like cadets here. Basically, you don't want your trainees, your cadets in this case, actually going into the front line, so they have laser sword abilities. If you team up with a knight, like for example this blonde guy here, I'm pretty sure is Lucian. They get a leadership bonus for cadets if they're leading them. It's just there's all kinds of little stuff like that all over the place. You know, it's a really neat game. I really like the system. I haven't really seen anything like it, aside from, I guess, kind of, sort of Total War in a way. But yeah, we're just going to pop these guys off to the side just to protect the flank. Then we're going to end the turn there. They're going to go take theirs. This is just a rando fight, just so you know. There's all kinds of different maps on it, all kinds of different types of fights and everything. Like right here, he went and gored one of the zombies, and the reason I'm using them as a meat shield is because they essentially poison and counter-attack anything that hits them. So that's always nice. There was thought to be a bug recently with that ability. They're actually a relatively new unit. I know that a few different types of dragons, zombies, and everything else, which in this case they're called corpse puppets, but still. Most of the quotes, by the way, are apparently from different plays and literature and all that. I will say I'm not the most massive literature buff in the world, but yeah, you may notice some stuff if you know a bit more about that. But yeah, that is to say, I love reading, but man, I have never had enough time to go back and go through all the classics and stuff. So admittedly, I did go through a lot of synopses in those cases. It's something that I love, but just never had the ability to go do. Because most of the time that I probably would have spent doing all that was instead spent working, admittedly. Hi there, Mr. Vale. And hi there, Fanboy Miss. Needs a shin getter. Unfamiliar with that. Let's see, I don't think I've seen you do this game in forever. Yeah, it's been a while. It has really been a while. I've been playing it and all that. I just haven't... so actually, I should probably explain the reason that I haven't streamed it from back then. There was a bug at some point where it would crash when using OBS. So basically, it was just having issues. I believe that's gone at this point because I think that was just some really weirdly specific thing from way back in the day. It wasn't really anything that he did. It's just some weird quirk of the engine. And yeah, for those that didn't know, this is made by one guy. Functionally speaking, like they hired out for some stuff, but for all intents and purposes, it's like one guy. So, still, I really like this game. It's just interesting. It's got a lot going on for it. And for those that don't know, yes, if any of these units die, yeah, they're permadead. They're like that cadet there, they're gone. You can hire new units. Depending on where you are in the game, you kind of get a slightly below standard unit. And then you can train them up as you want. Alright, actually I'm a little bit surprised that Doggo Force lost a unit. They're one of my better squads here. But yeah, a lot of rando enemies got buffs recently. So they're doing balancing passes pretty much every week. Like it's impressive how many patches they get out actually. Like I will say, as far as especially as far as early access goes, yeah, they definitely update more than most. That's for sure. But yeah. Alright, yeah, this is definitely the rookie squad, as you can tell. They're just basically massed units there. This is kind of the second leadership squad going on here. Like it says light armor, they're just supposed to go around the flanks. Mostly cadets and one knight. Actually, one neat change that they made not that long ago. Also, this one's just running its default name at the moment because I forgot to update it. But yeah, one neat change they made a little while ago is that even your units that don't participate, like for example, there was an issue for a little while where only the ones that actually got to take their turn got experience. So this would occasionally leave your melee units a little bit behind. So it seems like they updated that at some point, that everyone gets that experience. See, there must be 30 to 50 wild hogs in this level. Oh, you haven't seen the boss fight we're going up to. It's great. I kid you not, there's a boss fight that's like 60 or 70 wild boars just coming out of a portal. But yeah, back when I was first streaming this, there was only about 3... it's not officially called chapters, but you might as well call them chapters. It's like 3 zones. Instead of chapters, you're kind of going through zones. The beginning is your starting, like, fantasy castle area. This is more or less a wasteland out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, let's see if we can have this team go ahead and finish these guys off. There are hotkeys for this stuff, I just don't remember them and don't want to mess around with them at the moment. There have occasionally been some bugs with the hotkeys, just because sometimes stuff doesn't register as it should. That's just, again, that's just a little quirk of it. Like, I know tab in particular, I'm used to using a lot of stuff because I love playing like an absolute spaz in a lot of cases, but it will bust this thing up sometimes. It was thought to be fixed several times now, and then I still found a way to break it last time, so I'm gonna just leave it alone for the moment. Alright. There we go. So we get a bunch of stuff, one casualty. If we can find a roving caravan, we can replace our casualty here. But yeah, this is just our big kind of out there wasteland type of area. I love the music in this though too. It's like it's got a whole day-night cycle. It's got a whole needs system going on. The way that they're implemented is kind of about, I would say, most of the way so far. I forget exactly what day and night does. I'm assuming it's some effect on accuracy. We have to take a random to get to here, don't we? Wandering necromancers. Dang it, Rick. So we're just gonna go take a nap next to this team of wandering necromancers. Probably just sleep till morning. So you have everyone take a nap. You see the little rest bar on the very bottom. I'm just gonna wait till morning comes around, just in case it does affect accuracy. Your rest and things like that will affect how much experience your units are gaining. And in fact, you know what? Yeah, we should have had a couple level ups since last time. It's got a cool level up mechanic too. Basically, every class has 15 cards that they can get. For every level, you draw 3 of those at random. Let's just go ahead and get leadership here. I believe this lady's one of them. So you may get a new class, you may get a stat of some kind. Like, for example, magic attack here. It just increases, it just gives them a magic element to their attacks. I will mention one thing that does come up at least once every time. With the portraits, some of them are expected to get updated at some point, but it does grow on you, I will say that. Like, it definitely, the first time I looked at it, it was kind of a look of like, not so sure, but then, yeah, over time, it kind of grew on me. Now, just kind of see it as part of the style here. Alright, we'll go melee on you as well. Alright. Yeah, good thing we got some level ups there, because they probably would have gotten wrecked in this party otherwise. So I figure if we lose a few units, we can make up for them at this meeting spot here. Actually, I'd like to see more of that happening. I believe it's random. I don't know what the actual logic is behind where the random fights spawn and wander and things like that. There we go, Necrotic Burst. So it teaches a reaction, which is a... basically every attack will scale with a certain element. There's 6 different elements and kind of a alternating circle thing that I don't quite understand, to be honest. But yeah, then it scales off a certain stat, and then it scales off a certain weapon type. So, for example, the zombie hands are considered a heavy weapon for all intents and purposes. They look kind of janky, but they make a pretty decent meat shield. I need to... You technically will be able to rename these guys, by the way. He gave me a cheat code to put in to activate the function. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. So if anybody really wants to be a unit, I will go ahead and look that up real quick. I just gotta find it in my messages. So do let me know. There we go, we'll add that. And there are a few attempts to make up for the occasional level discrepancies that you'll get due to how many fights you can potentially take, in which you're technically supposed to take much higher criticals from lower level units in order to give them more of an edge. So kind of the bigger the level discrepancy, the higher crit rate there is. I believe there was that was going to be addressed more in a later patch, or in a later balancing pass, since a lot of times those will still not be able to get past their damage threshold. So we'll see how that ends up going over time. Usually, I wouldn't say it's usually much of an issue, because usually once it's kind of the same thing as Tactics Ogre, Ogre Battle, or any of that. if your units are in their first few levels, they are going to be garbage. They're usually going to be doing no damage, and they're usually going to die immediately. But again, I feel like it was kind of addressed in this, since most of the time you can set them up as a ranged unit, or you can just put them in the back line somewhere, and then just let them gain experience as they're seeing horrible things happen in front of them. There's also been mention a few times that there will be kind of just a random level up button. So, for example, right here, realistically, most of these random grunts, I'm not too concerned what they get. Whatever classes they're in, I already know that they're going to get whatever I want them to. So there's been mention from a few folks that it would be nice to just have a button that randomly picks 3 of them, and then just there you go, you're off to the races. You know, just good to go. And if you need to ever take a look at what they're looking at, you just basically look at this. Shows all their stats. So yeah, that's finally in there. Make this guy a leader, even though he's not one yet. Because bear in mind, one of the interesting mechanics of this is, yeah, at any given time, a squad can get completely wrecked. And so you have to go and rearrange who's leading what, and maybe give them some different roles to fulfill, and that's why you are going around kind of adjusting everybody's everything. Huh. Interesting. They've got the little star above their head. Does that mean I can level them up from here? Huh. Totally can. That's cool. Neato. Okay, well, physical defense on fairies, definitely. Healing, yes. And magic defense, sure. There we go. Yeah, so definitely a elegant little game. I say little, but it's actually pretty decently sized. Yeah, we'll just stick you here, because zombies, despite being what they are, technically speaking, don't take any leadership ability, because they are just mindless grunts, so that's always nice. Oh yeah, no, I didn't need to rename that one. Alright, let's go ahead and save it real quick. It does have an autosave. It does seem to work pretty darn well. Let's go ahead and save it there. And let's get back to it. Alright, so, realistically, it's showing our odds is really terrible here. I'm not doing an Iron Man on this one, by the way. I will say, once I know the all the deep down mechanics well enough to be able to do an Iron Man run of this, and once it reaches its final release phase, I totally will, but for the time being, yeah, no, stuff can go wrong real fast, so we're not going to do that just yet. Though, if somebody, if a unit goes down, they go down. The only time I really restarted is if it's a complete wipe. Ooh, this is new music, actually. Alright, so unfortunately their casters are getting to... Oh, crap. Yeah. They're gonna go ahead and wreck our butts real good there. Now, unfortunately, this also means that those... Okay, so this is another interesting mechanic here. So the facing mechanic, just like something like Ogre Battle, whenever the 2 units are facing each other, they will essentially only have access to who they would reasonably have access to. Now, yeah, we're just going to leave them each shield facing that way. I was going to actually turn them around, but then that would have left them open to a flank, and we don't want that. And the rest of these are actually just going to wait for these guys to get a little bit closer, so they can hopefully get some flanks off on them. So we'll just leave that there. We may actually want to bail on this one. So a cool thing you can do, too, is at any given point you can actually just run to the edge of the map and escape. Okay, that wasn't great. Alright. Let's see what our escape options are here. But yeah, you can escape, heal up, and then you can just come right back the next day. Unfortunately, having zombies on your team means that you're slower. If I move here, I should hopefully be out of range of those guys, and hopefully still be able to fire. Actually, the better bet... Yeah, we've got 3 retreat tiles. We need 1 to stay behind. Yeah, we're just going to go here. They're going to retreat. I think we'll have Doggo 4 stay behind. Alright, you retreat, and then you're gonna take position there, but they can't retreat yet. So yeah, that's the cool thing. You're limited. You have a retreat, but it's limited. Which, personally, I'm a big fan of. It's actually the way that I like to do Iron Man runs for Lucht. And Silent Storm, though I haven't really played that in a while. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and get out of there. And if we were to go back to the fight, we will essentially have already damaged that team. We'll be back to full health. Oh, never mind. Did that change? Huh. Actually, wait a minute. Didn't I think I might have read in a thing that they might respawn somewhere close by, but not on the tile nearby anymore. Or maybe it's just, I don't know. Corrupted forest creatures over there. Huh. Crazed necromancers over there. Maybe they just respawned over there. Because yeah, their show's slightly better odds, so maybe. Anyway, we're going for this caravan here, though. I want to hire a new team. So we'll just go ahead and go there. But yeah, I love a lot of things about this game. And I know it's been mentioned before, but yeah, it's got a got an editor, so whatever you want to make in the future is there. They've mentioned having other followers that you can select. It's like if you have particular units that you'd like to see come along, but by default it is your dog and starting fairy that follow you around. Need a guard? Sure. Alright. So we got a decent chunk of cash here. Alright, let's do 3 of these. And then I actually need to sell some stuff to get the other 2. Yes, yes, yes. Oh yeah, I forgot they added a fitting room now. Alright, well, we need to sell some stuff first. Alright. Sell this. Sell this. Yeah, just sell a bunch of those. And usually you want to keep some of this random crap around. Just because you never know when you might need a rookie. Most of the ones that you hire will come in with stuff, but stuff varies. Overall, it's pretty snappy. Alright, what do I want to do with you? We are one of the leaders. Do you have a leadership ring of some description? Yes. Okay. Okay, so we'll give her one of those. Alright, she's already good on leadership. She does need a helmet, though. We've got decent defense. We've got an increase in a lot of attack stats. That is a pretty decent amount of crit. I've never seen her take a hit in a while anyway. So I'll just give her the mask. Alright, you're already good. Unfortunately, the dog can't wear anything. You can't wear any of these. But yeah, you can get some pretty interesting stuff going here. Like, for example, with the fairy here, she's basically got 2 uses of a force field. So it'll just come up with a little shield bubble whenever she's hit. A healing burst, which will just automatically give a low-level heal to any party member that gets hit by something. A smoke bomb, that if they're attacked, they can ruin accuracy. A rebuke, which is just a counter. Surprise attack, which is a counter with a crit chance, I believe. And then blind, which ruins accuracy on primary attack, I believe. Something like that. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on. Let's see, bowler hat. That'll up control. But crit rate. Man, their crit rate is freaking 73. Holy crap. I know they're the crit class, but dang. Alright, gunner here. I'm just going to say helmet for you. Most of this stuff does show up on their doll, by the way, too. Alright. Let's say helmet on you. You can only equip this for now. Same goes for you. And my last time through, I didn't actually have the money to do all this stuff. Are they out of helmets? Are they seriously completely already sell it? Or no, you know what, actually... Yeah, cadets actually can't use these. Alright, fair enough. So that's how you tell your... You know what, I was asking him a while ago how you tell your knights and cadets apart, and that's how it's supposed to be. Because the cadets can't use helmets. Okay, gotcha. Because for the longest time I just wasn't using them because of an old thing that used to happen. Alright, zombies don't get anything. Alright, I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and hire these guys here. Or ladies, rather. So we should be able to start with a team of 5, if all goes well here. If not, I'll get a leadership ring for one of them. Yes, yes, yes. Alright. So, she got to level up. Let's see what we got here. Let's see, knight. Go with blades for you, and what else? Let's say leadership. And what I might do is take her and actually have her lead this team. And then put somebody else in her place. And that's the kind of stuff I like about this. Alright. Now, which one are they, though? I will remove them from the team. I did not mean to remove the entire team. Oh well. Alright, you're going to go here. You've got 5 leadership. Let's give you a few attackers here. In fact, I might actually have enough leftover slots to be able to just boil this down to an entire team of cadets. And then just fill out everybody else with zombies. So yeah, we've got 5 slots left there. Yeah, that'll work perfectly. We'll just pretend it was intentional from the start. That should give everyone some better training and all that. Not to mention, should make one really good artillery team. In the theory, anyway. Alright. Move you here. As much as it seems like it would be just kind of a slow thing, I appreciate this whole spinning the camera around. I know it's a weird thing to like, but it's just, I don't know, it feels good. It just feels very, I don't know, like, very sim-y, I guess. Now, I should probably mention, as far as leadership costs go, every class is going to be different. Actually, yeah, it looks like they ran out of points. Pooh. Ah, well, we'll make another one then. For just the rookies. There we go. They'll probably get torn apart, but oh well. There we go. They're going to be the light laser squad. And these are going to be the heavy laser squad. There we go. Alright. This is still light armor. That's fine. And these are the 2 main squads here. Yeah, illusionist. So they're going to be artillery, because yeah, illusionists will completely ruin the stats of anything they hit. But the problem is they can't actually do any damage on their own. So if you just have a team of them, it really won't do any good. But combined with other ranged units, they're pretty fantastic. Alright. So we'll go ahead and move on here. Anywho, what's everybody up to this morning? See, Slime Cave. You know what? Let's go test out how these new teams go in the Slime Cave. Why not? Slime cave. Sure. Main reason I'm doing this is because I want to get at least a little bit of experience for the new units. The boss that's coming up, like I said, is a little bit of a rough one. My first couple times through, they kind of annihilated my entire army there, so there's that. And actually, it's a harder fight than before as well. So there's actually two fights. Before, it was like 50-something boars. This time, there's actually a straight-up army there, as well as those boars, I believe. Alright, so we'll just send all the lasers in here. If I can use only these two, I will. This would be ideal to see them get all the experience. Nobody else really needs it right now. Ooh, no, no, no. Oh, crap. They might be dead now. Yes, I just misclicked. In that case, that plan's out the window. Let's just do this. That one needs to be gone, because they don't want to get flanked. Those are complete rookies. If they get flanked, they're just completely dead right off the bat. No questions asked. At least their accuracy should be busted right now, so they should miss. Alright, they're fine. Actually, I might have stuck some of the better ones in there. No, they're still the rookies. Thankfully, by this point, many of them will come hired in at a higher level, so they shouldn't be too bad. Okay, yeah, they're getting the flank bonus, but they can't hit anything because they're dazed right now. And yeah, if you wanted to, you can zoom all the way in there and get all dirty pixely, but no need for that. So you might be wondering why these guys can't move. Every unit will have a sort of rampart aura kind of thing going on, if you're familiar with Tactics Ogre. So, yeah. It's kind of something similar to that. So what we're going to do, we're going to have these guys go get a flank on these ones, hopefully. No, looks like they were just off from a flank. It's kind of hard to tell where slimes are facing. They would have had to be behind this line by the looks of it. Which makes sense. Alright, so we're just going to do that. I think the best way is actually for these guys to finish off these ones, and then those four to go here. Because, yeah, these ones won't have enough movement to get there, since the zombies are slowing them down. That free cost don't come cheap. Not really often that you hear that. Right. There we go. Are you finally sending us in, he says, as they're the first team that went in. Okay, now if I recall correctly, the ones on the left are the ones on the right are the most damaged. So that should work there. This music kind of reminds me of Guild Wars, like the original one. Alright, yep. There's only the one taking the hit, and they're doing just fine. I'll just let these guys attack directly for now. I think this team will try to stick around here, get ranged attacks on this one. Actually, might as well just move them here. Though at this point, it seems like these ones somehow managed to fail to finish this one off. There we go. Done deal. Yeah, so for example, if it's the majority of the team that moves, the majority, well, then they should all get experience. If it's just the, like the one that attacks and finishes something off, then it'll be just that one that gets something. This is kind of flubbed this. I should have attacked there first. Ah, well. Let's have these guys finish them off real quick. And there we go. And these guys can move here, but aside from that, we're pretty much good to go. And yeah, you're gonna have stuff like this as an option in most areas where it's mostly just an XP dump. I'm not sure if there's any logic for them to appear next to areas where you'd recruit units, but it does feel that way. Couldn't be sure. Even if it's not there, it certainly acts like it is. Alright, that's some delicious coffee. Move them here. But yeah, my first time through, I was really kind of confused why on earth it was that that the cadets shot lasers. And then was playing through a bit more Tactics Ogre as per usual. I was like, you know what? It would be really nice for all the rookies to have a ranged attack that was somewhat reliable. It's like, oh, that's why why they shoot lasers. Suddenly it makes sense. Alright. So they got hit there, but the healing burst saved them. And I've seen cases where they should have taken fatal damage, but the healing burst saved them anyway. So it's pretty good. These zombies are pretty terrible. But oh well. They're doing their job. Alright. Have those guys take on that top squad, and then I believe we can probably update some of these. Because cadets are good, but you don't want to leave anyone as one class forever. They basically don't gain any cards if they're not multiclassing. So basically after 5 levels, they'll have learned everything that they can learn from a particular class, so you move them on to something else. And so you're constantly trying to update what your party comp looks like. So this isn't actually even the starting class. But yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. Technically, the starting classes are adventurers. They're not very good at all at anything. Like, usually in these kinds of games, I'd expect to see some redeeming features out of them. But aside from unlocking classes and a few really basic stats, they're pretty awful. See, sorry, trying to crash my computer. It was crashing. I took it to the shop, got it back last night, crashed twice. This morning, though, it isn't crashing, so maybe it's magically fixed. Sometimes they do that, I guess. I mean, this one... Like, okay, explain this logic to me. Like, this PC I'm using right now, it's over a decade old, right? I've done my best to keep it alive, but the thing is, if I leave it alone for a few minutes, it will crash. Like, if I just walk away and take too long to grab some coffee or whatever else, it's just kaput right on the spot. Just come back to a blue screen, sorry, something went wrong. For the longest time, I thought it was the old operating system or something like that. Turns out, no, it's not that. I tried clean install on the OS. I tried basically tried everything you'd normally go through, and nothing, no result whatsoever. So I was like, okay, so that that wasn't it. But then, whenever I'm actually doing stuff on it, it will not crash. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, that is to say, it'll rarely do it. Like, this one in particular has crashed on this PC before, but again, that was that weird bug, which was more of a weird interaction between OBS and the engine of the game. So that's not anything that would have been the game's fault. But, or for that matter, even the PC's fault. Actually, if anything, I would have assumed, well, it would be the engine's fault in that case, but whatever. It was something so stupidly specific that it doesn't even matter. But still, like, maybe yours is having that same phenomenon. See, it's probably a digital chimera, a binary ghost, an analog tiger, or possibly a blockchain banshee. Man. There needs to be... You know what? Now I'm just imagining, like, friggin' Matrix Ogre. Man. Actually, come to think that that's basically a solo run of those. Why can't I attack you? Okay, you can hit them, but not the other one for some reason. Oh, I'm being stupid. Okay, for some reason, I'm so used to using zombies on every squad now, I forgot that they can do that. Also, no, I don't know how a slime blocks exactly. Let's not think about that too much. The movie Hackers to be treated as technological gospel? Oh. Fair enough, fair enough. Was that the actual code names of them in that one? Like, I remember them being absurdly edgelordy, but I don't remember if that's exactly what they were. Like, it was... I remember... If I recall correctly, that was the one that started the bizarre stereotype of hackers gotta have unreasonably edgy names, isn't it? Just basically decided how all 90s usernames went from there on. Okay, I guess they can't shoot over that stalactite. Or stalagmite. I don't know in this case. I forgot what the rule is between stalactites and stalagmites. Alright, we'll just leave the vets behind. Alright, nothing there. I suppose if anything, it would be kind of nice to see the music loop a little bit faster. That little bit of silence is kind of funky, but again, not really a big deal. Alright, lots of levels out of this one. Lots and lots of levels. As usual, slimes are nice gooey XP blobs. You just punch them to get your mind full. They're made of brain soup. See, Slip Him a Digital Chimera is the actual line from Hackers that I'm riffing off of. Their actual names are Serial Killer, Dr. Doom, Super Laser, Crash Override, Acid Burn, and Mr. the Plague. Okay, Super Laser I think is the one I'm thinking of. That was... yeah. It's been a really long time, and God, that movie had some weird names. Man. Gotta love it, though. Gotta love it. Alright, I don't know what cards I'm picking for this person. There we go. Reaction Blind. Sure. That's always useful. Anytime I see a reaction ability, that's always the one that gets picked. Under the Cloak of Darkness. Bestows a leadership bonus to rogues in the lands when this hero is captain. Or teaches your hero to throw a smoke bomb, a defensive spell. Okay, we'll just go with the smoke bomb there. I don't believe she's currently a leader. And actually, interestingly, they added a little notepad you can put for their... So if you want to have little goals for each of your units, you have a little sticky note. Huh, handy. So it kind of lets you assign particular roles without necessarily redoing a lot of the UI elements. I like that. I think that's new since last time. Alright, magic attack. Yeah, if there's an option for magic attack, I usually go for it, just because physical, everything has a defense against. Magical, not everything has a defense against. Can I change you to something ranged? I think a Tinker. I think a Tinker can use crossbows, and yeah, as soon as they change class, they just immediately go naked. Which actually had to be changed to some degree. Because way back when, they actually almost got into a little bit of trouble for the whole nakedness thing. Alright. I guess they can't use offhands. Alright, that's fine. They're just going to train as a Tinker for a little while. So you had a fellow comp sci majors often opine that if there hadn't been one good hacking movie, Sneakers, we wouldn't judge Hackers, Antitrust, or Swordfish so hardly. To them I say nothing because I've already slipped in the digital camera. No, the best example... Like, obviously the NCIS thing comes up every now and then of like, oh, we gotta hack faster, quick, get 2 people on this keyboard. Which is just... how would that even work? But no, my favorite one is, Did you ever see the thing from Bones? Like, it's not even a show that I watch that often, but one of the few episodes I saw was the frickin' Bones episode with the hackers. It's, okay. So, if you've never seen it, here's the basic logic. That they're trying to find some serial killer guy that's also some crazy hacker and everything. So they're going and they're scanning all these bones and they can't find any evidence, and so they scan this bone that was left around, and suddenly all their computers just like get controlled and everything. And you know what? You know what the logic was? they somehow went in with a frickin' chisel or some crap and basically carved a bunch of code into this bone, so that when the computer scanned it, it would just automatically hack the computer and just give all the police computers over to this random guy. It's yeah, it's as stupid as it sounds. Like I remember, I was a kid when I saw that. Like, you know what? This is some of the how does that even I don't understand. He read the picture and was like, "No, I'm hacked now." It's just, oh man, there's some good misunderstandings, but I don't even know how they came to that logic. You know? Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautifully stupid. It's so beautifully stupid. Alright, more physical defense. I probably should go more offense on these zombies, but you know what? They do a lot of their good stuff when you let them get hit. So whatever. They're meat shields with an explosion reaction. Which yeah, they've got necrotic burst and all that. So that's basically a counterattack, but a counterattack that drains health apparently. Or I don't know if it actually like transfers it back or anything. But yeah, if the zombies actually get killed, they basically self-destruct. Which, interestingly, only seems to affect the other team, so that's always nice. So yeah, that's definitely a learn to sanitize your input moment. Have you seen the famous XC... or... hang on. XKCD, there we go. Sorry, I was right-clicking the thing to open it up. Alright, let's see. No, I actually have not seen XKCD before. A webcomic of romance, sarcasm, math, and language. Alright. Let's see. Hi, this is your son's school. We're having some computer trouble. Oh, did he break something? Anyway, did you did you really name your son Robert Drop Table Students? Oh yes, Little Bobby Tables, we call him. Well, we've lost his year student records. I hope you're happy. And I hope you've learned to sanitize your database inputs. Okay, I have not seen that one. Man, that's specific. You know what? I think there's actually legal ramifications for giving your kid a name like that. As weird as it sounds. Because when my wife and I were discussing our son's name, it came up once. Because when we were gonna name him, we literally just had this crazy long name. It was like, I wonder, like, how friggin' majestic does this sound, you know? Like, it sounds like trumpets should go off every time they walk into a room. She's like, yeah, there's hospital rules that if you give your kid a really, really stupid name, courts can get involved. Like, oh, okay, fair enough. Although, despite that, there's apparently at least 13 people in the States with the name ABCDG. So that's nice. And Mouse Over Text says her daughter's name is Help, I'm Trapped in a Driver's License Factory. You know, now that I think about it, where do they make those? They just send them to you in the mail. They don't... But the return address is always the place that you originally applied for it? I have no idea. I would assume it's probably some fancy skyscraper somewhere. Alright. Yeah, and these kinds of situations right here are why a lot of folks have asked for a random level up button. It's like whenever you get your mass rookies that are suddenly leveled up. It's like, well, time to go through the buttons for a little while. Alright, she got a ranged class though. We're gonna go ahead and update her to that. I kind of wish you could still access the buttons here while pulling up something else, but it's not really anything. There we go. We'll go for mage. Once again, you gotta strip down to change classes. That's how that works. Can I dual wield spellbooks? No. Alright. Homes, accessories, not much going on for you. I think we'll maybe go back to that caravan. See about getting these guys some better equipment. Especially if they end up getting new classes. And then we'll go for the boss. I know it all seems a little bit like, why are you going for all this stuff? It'll be necessary. Believe me, it'll be necessary. Okay, we'll go intellect here. Alright, change class. Because around the next boss is where they introduce classes that can hit your entire party, which just Ain't a great time there. Alright. And she's just gonna be walking around in the buff for a while. We are taking away your armor, making you a naked mage. Alright, spellcraft, sure. Now, I wish that one thing was a little different with when I actually started this one, which was actually that there was a pretty cool fort fight right before this. It's one of the new things that got added a couple months ago, I believe. But it's just there was this little fort that you would usually stop by for supplies and things like that, and so I stopped by there, and yeah, sure enough, there's a whole siege fight and everything there. And you've got options as to whether you want to go and attack outside the walls, or you want to try to hold them and put your ranged units up to the walls. Gee, one of these options is way better than the others. But yeah. Let's see, there's a native tribe in the northwest who protests the Canadian baby registration process by only using English and not their own language by using the number 7 in names, since it resembles a common character they use in names. Huh. Fascinating, okay. Wouldn't think too many people protest Canada. Alright, this guy will also be naked. We are the army of naked wizards. Alright, there we go. Got one of them. And then we have even more level ups. Because yeah, the way the balance for this one breaks down, your melee classes are way more hardy, your ranged classes are generally going to be the ones you're going to want to use for attacking, so you usually want a backline of casters or archers or things like that. Generally speaking, archers will give you more kind of trick abilities, casters will do more raw damage. But that's a very general kind of thing. They can go a lot of different ways. And I believe we're out of anything that they can use. Alright, you're not leveling up. Let's go back to the menu, and then I believe the zombies had level ups. No, that's everybody. Okay. Return to game. Alright, so where... I think the caravan moved on. Alright, well, we'll find another caravan. Probably try to avoid any fights until we do. They just kind of wander around. Actually, yeah, I think that is that... Yeah, Wandering Necromancers. I think this is that army from before. I suppose even naked we could probably take on the slimes, but... maybe not. Maybe not. Corrupted forest monsters, yeah, probably. And I accidentally clicked on them, so we're doing this. Actually, let's go ahead and save before that. I don't see very high odds of a wipe, but, you know, good to be safe. On a random note of Native American traditions, rather just Native traditions, which, by the way, I saw one of the dumbest family fights I've seen in a while break out recently, in which a relative just got really pissy over not understanding the difference between just Native and Native American. Yeah, they kept insisting that Native Canadians are Native Americans, and then couldn't understand why they were getting corrected. It was awkward, but then they didn't really feel like backing out of that, so it just kept going. There we go, ruin their accuracy and everything. We'll move everybody else up to get ready to attack them. Realistically, they won't be able to do anything. Alright, we'll have you hold there. You hold there, you hold around the middle. I didn't mean to do that, but that's fine. Kind of feel like spacebar should trigger that arrow to stop moving. But anyway, speaking of native traditions, there, yeah, that one of the things that come up is somebody called somebody else an Indian giver, which is a weird. It's a weird trope that makes no sense, because you'd think that would have come up. There's one of the Midwest tribes that actually was originally known for giving away a bunch of stuff. But for some reason, okay, for some reason it's used to refer to somebody that like gives something and immediately wants it back. But there was a particular tribe over in the Midwest there whose whole friggin' thing was like, okay, whoever gives away the most stuff is just the best person, and they're the one that can afford to give away the most, therefore they're better than everybody else. So it seems like the total opposite of what would be implied from that other one there. Wait a minute. Mages can just... I could do that this whole time. Well, crap, I didn't know that. Huh. Okay, mages used to just throw a freaking fireball. Now they're doing a full AoE there. That's pretty awesome. Okay, never mind. I think illusionists plus mages might be potentially busted. Potentially. But yeah, I remember reading in school about entire fights starting out because two people would have relatively equal length or wealth and would keep trying to give each other gifts, and then just basically kept out gifting each other over and over. Which is just a weird contest to have, and especially back in those days. On a bit of a happier note, speaking of weird interpeople politics, finally, the frickin' ads for Rich Guy can stop. So for anyone outside the States, one of the people that was running for election right now was this super rich guy that blew like I think he spent like $500 million or something on advertising. And realistically, nobody liked him because he had all the charisma of a friggin' like piece of moss on a rock. But yeah, it was just his name. I kid you not, every other minute on every radio station. Like, he was just everywhere. It's completely unavoidable. And yeah, thankfully, he dropped out yesterday, although apparently still spent more money advertising himself, so maybe it won't go away immediately. But, yeah, this election's turning out to be a super annoying one, and we haven't even gotten into the meat of it yet. Like, this is literally just one of the two teams deciding what they want to do, and it's already a massive pain in the neck. Which I guess is kind of amplified by the whole retail thing. But man, oh man. It's gonna be a long year. There we go. Flanking. We should get a bunch of crits off this. Oh, nice. Yeah, I really like that one. Really like that one. Gonna have to rename that team. Functionally speaking, they're like the Illusionist from FFTA. Alright, let's see. As a kid, I thought Indian Giver referred to white people giving Native American lands and treaties and promises and then taking them back. Well before I realized it was racist, yeah. A surprising amount of things are. Alright. We'll just go for this one. I'm sure she'll just attack one of these teams and get finished off. It's fine. Yeah, this is way stronger than I expected, actually. They did give it their all. They did do a dramatic last stand for what it's worth. I think we'll actually let you take the experience here because they're surprisingly not doing as well as I thought. Alright. Alright, and we got a new fairy type of unit out of that. And also everybody gets experience for a party win like that. I don't know if it scales with anything. It'd be kind of cool to see a double experience bonus if nobody died or something. But that would probably break some things. Because yeah, getting a few levels quick and then the rest taking a while is kind of a big chunk of the balance of this. Let's see, oh, Unsung Story had an update as of March 1st. I can confirm that they're still live. No other updates, just still live. Oh. Okay. Huh. Alright. Well, that's good. I mean, I hope they do well. I've actually been hearing a lot of positive things about Felseal lately again, too. I was mentioning the idea for streaming it the other day, and there was a decent bit of positivity coming back to it, so I'm really excited to try it. I had taken one look at the customization options, and it was like, oh yeah, would you like to have permanent injuries on units that get incapacitated? I was like, oh yes, please give me those sweet permanent effects. Make it hurt more. It's good stuff. Alright, some dodge, why not? The hell? What's that? That was weird. For some reason the nature sound started playing. So remind me, you can tell a fell seal from a fell sea lion because fell sea lions have external ears, right? And a fell walrus is the one with the tusks. Yep. And the other one's got land sharks. That's all I know about fell seal so far. It's like, I know it's got a bajillion classes, I know it's got customization, I know it's got blue griffins in the intro, and I know it's got land sharks. Right, necromancer. Very yes. Allows a leadership bonus to paladins, and okay, well, we'll give you that for now, and then staff spec. He's gonna become a necromancer later, which is funny how the priest can become a necromancer, but oh well. I suppose they had to work on that charisma in order to get the zombies to talk to them. See, do you see that there's a type of songbird that's been randomly hunting and murdering bats to eat their brains? What the hell? That's awesome! What bird is this? Is it the black canary, by chance? I don't know much about comics, but I know that one. And I'm pretty sure that's a loose connection at best. I think. I don't know. I think that's a Green Arrow thing, but then as of when they made the show for that, when they made Arrow, they more or less... I think they killed off Batman in that universe, and then just, like, Green Arrow took over for him, which, honestly, I almost kind of prefer. But, oh well. Then again, I always prefer to see really stupid builds work. Man, that show makes no sense. It's amazing. Just all of them are so fun to watch, despite making zero sense whatsoever. Like, they will just pull writing contrivances out of nowhere. It's just beautiful. It's like, oh yeah, no, in this case, you know, somebody's got a friggin' paperclip and they just completely disabled them. 5 seconds later, there's like 20 people with machine guns and they're already injured, and they're like, no, excuse me, dodging bullets here. It's, they are exactly as durable as they need to be. Like, in one episode, they get friggin', like, shotgun to the chest or something. It's like, no, I got this armor on here. 5 seconds later, pistol does them in. Like, it's, yeah. So yeah, I don't think I can type the name here. It's the Greater Tit, and we'll see if that gets blocked. I love that there's a bird called that. It makes so much sense that there would be one like that, but it's... I just love that that they just decided to stick with that. Alright, also everyone becomes mages now. Every single one. I love this music. Like, of all the zone themes, I think this is probably my favorite. I haven't heard all of them. Bear in mind that I think there's like 7 zones now. I've only ever seen 3. Because the next one's the desert area. Yeah, I think mages and illusionists are just going to be the entire team now. Increase their blue. I think we'll just go for the usual early game caster logic. It's like if you can get a leveled up caster in any RPG in the early game, you're probably gonna be wrecking everything real good. Explosion. These zombies can't technically roll their friggin' giant boom ability right from the very start, so you're pretty well okay with just picking up their counter and defensive abilities and then just making them in bulk. You can literally just pick these up after every fight. It's kind of like some OB64 logic. Like, every time you win a fight against human characters, you just Carry a cart of dead bodies around. Yeah, it's kind of messed up, but if it works, it works, yeah. Alright. Alright, and another naked mage. Now bear in mind that those mages, like I said, they're only going to last a little while, but I know what's coming up. So yeah. I'm pretty sure they're going to have something along the lines of like a counter AoE ability or something. I actually have never used them in this version, so we'll see what comes up. And it's going to be kind of an expensive upgrade. But I think it'll be worth it. And yes, we're going to have everybody walking around naked. It's fine, don't worry about it. If they don't get hit, they don't got to worry about it. But I know that they will have to worry about getting hit pretty soon. Which technically should make tanks kind of the better thing to go for. But if I can get these leveled up and then just spam the crap out of it, it could work. It could do the job. Everyone is naked. Leave some knights in here. Never mind, you became mage 2. It's pretty rare that they're all going to roll that same class, but alright. Won't say no to that. But yeah, the reason I was saying illusionists and mages at the same time, if you combine them both, then you don't have to worry about the ranged attacks hitting you. But I don't believe they're gonna actually get that here. Is that everyone? That's everyone. We'll go ahead and save it then, and find them some stuff. Yes, I'm doing the same thing that I've been doing in Tactics over there. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go do the thing. Oh, wait, I can do this one thing. I can do this one thing. 15 things later. Oh, wait, I can combine all of it into this one other thing. 72 streams later. Okay, now we'll finally go to the boss. Like, after we've optimized everything to the point of stupidity. And then suddenly we get X Division, the one thing that we've been streaming that actually does require some optimization, and then we'll just never optimize anything, and then get mad at the game. It's fine. It's all the mod's fault. All right. You there? Give me stuff. Hell yeah, we do. Alright, we're gonna sell some stuff here because need some of that sweet, sweet cash. I do love that broadswords are a bit more available now. They used to be somewhat unique to the starting characters. Yeah, we got 20 of these laying around. What the hell is this gun buy thing? Seems pretty good, whatever it is, but only can be used by the paladin? Must be a unique I picked up at some point. There we go. We're rolling in the dough now. You're not really expected to do this much optimization, by the way. I'm fairly certain. I should probably change her to something else. Let's see. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Fine as a mender. That forester needs to change into something else. We'll just update him to a gun. See if there's anything else we want to give him item-wise. A sharpshooter coat seems like an update. lamplighter. What's this thing? Yeah, I kind of wish it would tell you what each weapon type was, because some of them are kind of unclear. I'm assuming this is a staff, but it doesn't quite tell you for sure. See, gunband must be the Chinese or Chinese farfan, where you give signals with it. But it's like a battle axe or some crap. Oh well. Lieutenant breastplate, sure. I'll give you one of those. Actually, yeah, Y will be an upgrade. There we go. Let's give him one of those. I feel like the store is updating as we're leveling up here. Also, I think it might be adding particular things for every person that's here. I'll give you the tux. There we go, update you there. This is pretty sweet. Never actually had this happen in the game before. Like, I'm actually going through and being able to afford everything. Double Illusionist, also give it this thing, switches the wand automatically to the offhand. Basic attack ring on you. Lose a little block from doing that. Not really worth it. Block's a bit more worthwhile on the rookies. Alright, let's give you a hammer. Give you one of these, sure. And I don't believe they can use an offhand. Yeah, I don't think so. Chemist code is fine, though. Yet, I kind of appreciate this being able to splurge thing. It does kind of make sense in the context here. What does this do? No idea what it does, but whatever. Arraignment. There we go, offhand wand. I mean, technically speaking, some of these things I already have, but it's fine. I have a feeling we're going to get pretty busted after all these upgrades. Although we're also getting a little bit broke. No! Okay, we need to go sell more stuff. This lady's just over here, just quietly filling up her Scrooge McDuck vault in the background. I didn't mean to sell all those, but there we go. Alright, let's see. Do you think there's a fountain pen company specializing in making fountain pens that resemble battle axes or polearms or magic staffs? Just for fantasy authors? Not just that. I know I'm not the only one that practices friggin' like staff and spear forms with a pencil. Like every time I have a pencil or a pen or whatever else, I used to practice with a spear and staff and all that, and still like go and flip through all the forms just while holding the thing. I don't know. It's just more fun than it should be. Also, formation, attack, defend, and so on signals. Oh. Oh, I know what you're... Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about. It's been a while. Yeah, it's fascinating the kinds of stuff they used for signals back in the day. It's a whole lot of the deal behind... actually, you know, while I'm here, let me go turn that ranger into something else. Because this guy's already reached master, or forester, rather. So, do you have ranger? Yeah. Why does he have no abilities? Weird. Huh. I think he was supposed to have more abilities. I might have just used them all for stats. And he's just been stuck as a master class for so long, he just hasn't been learning anything. He has just been sitting on his laurels this whole time. Good job, good job. Alright, war ring for you. Get you all this stuff. 6. Oh wow. Yeah, we still need a lot more. Like I said, this is going to be an expensive upgrade. We're basically just going to sell anything we don't overtly need here. Oh, and by the way, so I don't know if I mentioned it, but I think I'm going to save this for something down the line, for some special occasion or some such. But I found a way to actually go through through Tactics Ogre at level 1. As in, a thing that it absolutely shouldn't be possible to do. Found a way to do it. It's incredibly stupid and will take quite a while. But yeah. If you guys are curious, I can make that happen at some point. Like, it's every bit as dumb as it sounds. As in, it's literally just every run that we've been doing up to this point at one time was the idea, because I think it can be done Iron Man as well. So it'd just be a ridiculously long Iron Man run, doing everything at level 1 with starting equipment with only like 3 skills that they can actually learn. Just taking advantage of a bunch of really, really niche effects that come from certain skills. And a hell of a lot of scaling. Like a crazy amount of scaling nonsense. I don't know if it can be done for one vision, though. That's the thing. Like, I'm fairly certain it wouldn't be able to, but it might be possible. So we'll see. We'll see what the interest is on that. If not, I might just attempt to make one of these edited videos. Because streaming it will take ages. Though I am positive that nobody's done it before, so at least there's that. Alright, you know what? This guy gets all the cheap crap. Can I get you a hat? No, I can't afford his hat. Okay, whatever, it's fine. Do I have enough to get this lady pants? Alright, we'll sell a little bit more. Gotta have something I can sell here. Don't want to have any naked people running around. Don't want to be the traveling, the random traveling magical nudist colony. So get rid of those entirely. Get rid of some of those. Okay. Now let's try again. Actually, we might be able to fully equip all these guys. Is there one more? No. Crap. I didn't mean to do that. Oh well, that's fine. We'll just call that good and move on. I have a link for you. Can I send it? Sure, go for it. What is it? As long as it ain't some weird furry nonsense again, then yeah. Oh, that, okay. I was hoping it was that. You occasionally get folks trying to shove some pretty weird stuff through. Yeah, that is exactly that thing. It is 100% that thing. Type of Japanese war fan. Umpires fan and sumo wrestling. Ah, that's why they carry fans around. That makes so much more sense now. Alright. So first of all, let's go test this out in the slime cave. Because I'm pretty sure this should be the utter dominance of the highest order right here. I'm pretty sure once defense goes up, the strategy won't work anymore. Also, we're going to get basically no experience out of this. We've got a team of VVs right now. And one naked chick with a hat, but it's fine. It's fine, it's close enough. We're close enough to dressed. Yeah, that'll work nicely. You know what they are? They're like ye old Zelda Wizrobes now. Man of culture should know more. Eh. Do I look like yogurt to you? I don't look like anything because I stopped doing that camera thing, so yeah. No yogurt. Yeah, this should be really good with a little bit of optimization. Sweet, no damage you got there. It's kind of weird that Paladin would be the only one that could use that thing. Whoosh. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it very, very lot. You look like a potato that's thinking only of dirt. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sweet dirt if you think about it. On a little bit of a side note, speaking of stuff that should be in the dirt, god dang, there was so at work occasionally, for whatever reason, in one of the places that I work, they only listen to one radio station, and for whatever reason, like I guess they're just ordered not to change it or something, because I kid you not, like when you see somebody just sigh, climb a ladder, and turn a mute button on for a little bit, because they're so sick of hearing the same 4 songs over and over, and they're all terrible, it's really something else. But it's just, like, it's all really bad rap music. Like, I've got nothing against rap. There are certain songs I'll, listen to and whatever, but we're talking literally just some guy gets some random beat off Google or some crap, and just they're just sitting there yelling "count it up" for like what feels like half a frickin' hour, to nowhere even remotely close to the beat, and that's the entire song, and it just keeps playing every few minutes. It's like, I know they're supposed to try to feel rich or some crap, but this is stupid. It's like mind-numbingly awful. Just came back with the biggest headache yesterday because it just wouldn't stop playing. Like, just looking over at the other people working there, and I just see heads go down and heads shaking every time that the stupid thing comes on. It's like, man, this is not music. This isn't a genre thing. That right there is not music. But the annoying part is, between every one of those songs, that same station's like going on and on about like, oh, this is the highest quality thing you'll ever hear. This is so amazing. Oh my god, this is so good. And then it's just unbelievably bad. Joys of retail, I suppose. Anyhow, one quick sec. My kiddo needs something. So let's go ahead and... Let's see... Can you do this one? Alright, you do that one real quick. Beautiful. You go this one. Man, that combined with a high crit rate? Oh, that could be busted. Alright. So, be right back, just a moment. Alright, sorry for the silence for a moment. Had some Girl Scouts cookies that showed up. Man, they're delicious. Ah, they're just such good cookies. Okay. And that turn right there. Unfortunately, their team spawned pretty well here. So yeah, original logic of the game was a lot different on how spawns went. So I believe now it actually has to adhere to the leadership score of any particular unit. So for Necromancers, they should be able to have a leadership bonus for undead and things like that. Which I would assume at some point they'll probably add more UI elements for, like, you know, certain units disagreeing with others and all that kind of thing. But at one point, it would just spawn in full teams of 10, and then you'd be there with, like, well, I got a leadership score of maybe 2. Not entirely sure what to do with this situation, as your entire teams get wiped over and over by this single mega squad that's weirdly cohesive. Which is cool, you know, it gives that nice, nice feeling that your leaders are doing something. Man. Yeah, flank mages are fantastic. I think we can just shorten that to mages are fantastic. Anyway, that team's pretty well toast. Got an illusionist for this one. He got hit in the pancreas! Alright, they're pretty well ruined. Skeletons have almost no health, because they also don't have any flesh. But yeah, most undead are going to be really cheap to field. Like that mechanic. They even have shorter health bars and everything. Whoosh! Yeah, mages are definitely fantastic for anti-trash. By the looks of it. Also, I'm not really sure why that healer can heal a skeleton. Won't matter in a moment. You can't heal what was already vaporized. Done deal. Okay. Speaking of stupid music, every year the same song on the radio plays. Last Christmas, as a car driver, I would rampage because of the song. Yeah, I can understand that. Would not want to be a driver around Christmas. Then again, I suppose same goes for retail there, but oof. Like, I think it's just, it gets especially bad once somebody comes in and they're like, "Oh man, this is my favorite song," and all you can think is, why? What is wrong with you? What happened to you that you would tolerate this? Uh, like, I'm not even joking. Some lady comes in yesterday, like smelling like high hell. Like, I don't even know how one accomplishes that level of stink, and then just starts dancing at the counter to this awful song. But all right, let's see here. Yeah, that one should be pretty well gone. Yeah, there really isn't too much they can do here. You'll have the more experienced team go and take on these ones. Friggin' whoosh. Alright, they've only got 2 healers left, and then these ones will go take out this group. That little crunch sound as it hits all of them is so satisfying. I love it. Alright, having these ones take out this group so that these ones over here can go take out this squad. Or not. Yeah, I think we're ready for the boss here. Because imagine this, but it's like 8 squads of them. You want the Paw Patrols?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. One moment. Okay, and back. So, let's play some neutral music. How about some metal? Friggin' neutral as hell. Well, you know what? Well, I have to say, it's like for an auto parts place, you gotta absolutely love every time Highway to the Danger Zone comes on at one of the locations. But greatest moment. So when the Sonic movie came out and it actually turned out to be good, the guy that I was working with that day was really excited. So he goes and hooks his phone up to the store stereo system and just starts playing the Sonic 2 soundtrack. Oh, that was amazing. Okay. So I think we're good to go here. Now to actually figure out where that somewhere is. It's along one of the map edges here. So there's a ton of encounters you can take. There's basically just a boss fight off on the edge of one of them. I think it's here. Could be wrong on that. This might be the place you come out of. Alright, let's do level ups, and then we'll do a quick save. More mage options, although I'm going to save that for later. Or actually, no, I won't, because she's already maxed out. And she's one of the leaders, so absolutely. Alright. Let's go mage on you. Alright, and I guess it might be time to demote one of the mages then, because I don't have anything for her. Alright. Okay, 25% bonus damage, no problem there. Force field, definitely good. Right, focus. More force field, and let's see, leadership bonus to knights. No. More focus. Okay, so you got 50% stronger out of nowhere. Or she. Alright. Get enchanting skill. Basically, your crafting, you get +1 for every person that you spec into that particular thing. Spellbook spec. Alright, Naked Wizard gets a few more attacks here. Give her a force field because she don't have pants. Alright, what can you become now? She's almost maxed out for this one anyway. Should probably make her into a mage as well. Probably just go buy more pants for everyone, to be honest. Seems like a good way to go here. Because they are dramatically weaker than everybody else. All the mages are showing 200 plus, these are showing 160 to 170. Alright, take that crafting skill. This guy's all here for the crafting. Now, I believe they're cumulative. I'm not sure that they would be individual. Might just be they only want to specialize one. Alright, dodge. Agility. Precision, there we go. So yeah, all the precision, focus, might, all those are pretty much just a flat 25% bonus to your power there. Pretty strong. Alright. They're fine there, and yeah, for her, I think I'm just going to change her to something else here. Master Cadet, Master Student. Might as well be an Acolyte then. Basically, Acolytes are your defensive buff class. Don't think they get helmets, though. Yeah. Alright, that'll be fine. And in fact, yeah, we got a store right here. So might as well go there. Let's see. Bought the game forever ago, but I ain't played it yet. Let's craft all the things, especially a hot potato soaked in coffee. That sounds absolutely fantastically delicious. Actually, I kind of want to try it. Anyway, you're the first person I've seen stream in English. They don't even stream it on Steam. Steam allows streaming? I mean, like, besides PC to PC. It's a really... Honestly, it's a pretty dang good game. I think it's just yeah, the initial look of it kind of throws some folks off. Because generally speaking, that's been the one that I've seen the most. It's just like, well, they looked at it, and it's like, oh, it's going to be standard anime game or something. It's not even kind of. Which, I guess part of the problem is there's so many mobile games doing that exact thing now. They're like, oh man, this totally isn't the standard thing, and then it's absolutely the standard thing. So, I'm sure that definitely doesn't help with a lot of those kinds of automatic assumptions. But yeah, it's a pretty darn good game. Yeah, he's technically a leader. I'm just going to go ahead and give him a leader ring here. It's like around this point, everything starts branching out a decent bit. So you get more options going on. I don't think she can get helmets. Don't suppose any of these are better. Yeah, it's going to be better. Get her block up a little bit. Alright. Let's give you a cat ring. Let's make her work on her dodge a little bit. I'm trying to find my naked caster. Here we go. You get that, and there you go. You're also past 200 at this point. Zombie gets nothing. Ooh, wait, zombies can get stuff? Oh, crap, in that case. Yeah, put solid bracers and all them. Because all their stuff scales off of heavy weapons, so that'll do the job. For sure. Alright, what's this one do? It's 20 to magic attack. You know what? That's actually not bad. Although I'm a little too broke to afford it. those. So you figure most people got into this because they think it's like FF Tactics or something along those lines. On Steam, you can turn on broadcasting, so every time you play, it streams if people want to watch it. Is there a chat thing? Because in that case, I should totally try that at some point. Uh-oh. The thing happened. Wait. Give it a second. Give it a second. Maybe it'll be fine. This was the thing that happened last time. It's basically a weird interaction between the recording software and the game, from what I understand, because it does not do this on a normal basis. Just give it a sec. Let's see if it can fix itself. Not responding, but what if we go back to it? Aww. Okay, we gotta redo a couple things there. Well, either way, actually, that's probably a decent place to call it for today, then. Well, actually, for now. I'll be back in a few hours for the usual mana thing for the afternoon. So it puts a chat straight into your game, or has an option to turn it on. We'll have to check that out at some point. That actually suddenly explains a lot of things. But yeah, so that's actually a pretty rare thing. As far as I understand, it's only an issue with OBS, because I haven't seen other folks run into that. So we'll call it there for today, and then I think maybe I'll start doing this one once a week, because I like this game. It's this particular issue that's it's caused an issue in the past. But yeah, you guys have a fantastic day, and yeah, we'll be doing more of the usuals. So yeah, mana later today, doing Tactics Ogre tomorrow, and yeah. So. Oh, by the way, Ventos, to answer the thing from earlier, yeah, I mean, from what I understand, it's supposed to be a combination of Ogre Battle 64 and Ye Olde Tactics Ogre and FFT. You speedrun or just play them? I mostly do challenge runs. So, for example, with Tactics Ogre, there was an immersion overhaul for that one being done, so I was doing a solo run of that one. Lastly, did a solo run of Vanilla. Was probably doing a level 1 run after that. Was going to do a marathon of the entire series, essentially doing what I was calling the Iron Griffin Challenge. Oh, hi there, Ventos. Thank you for the dancing zombie guy up there. Which, by the way, for some reason I can't change that to anything else. Sounds good. Hate speedrunners? Aw. But they're fun to watch sometimes, especially March of the Black Queen. MOTBQ speedruns are amazing to watch. But yeah. I like to do challenge runs, like to do weird runs. We also do X Division, which is a sort of XCOM-like. That one's pretty close to the end of it, which it should be after a dang year. Technically 2 years of trying to get through that one. And yeah, mostly Tactics Ogre, and other kinds of generally somewhat RPG-ish, mostly strategy kind of games, and occasionally Armored Core and stuff like that. So yeah, really absurdly niche stuff. But yeah, so I'll see you around. Oh yeah, and mana. We're doing the whole mana series blind. Those have been pretty fun to experience. Which I can't really say there's been much difficulty to Legend of Mana. It's just really fascinating how bizarre that game is. But yeah, so I will see you guys later, and take care.